The questions for the man, Evan Griffiths. Currently, hey Joel, currently down in Melbourne. So I'm going to bring Evan in because it's going to go pretty quick tonight. We're going to cover a lot of stuff. So let's bring in the Griff Dog. All right. Oh, here we go. I'm going to get up to this invite. Here we go. And yeah, we'll see what's going on in Mexico. Welcome everyone. Thanks for joining in on Sunday night. Evan,
buddy, how are you?
Good, mate. You well,
mate? I'm good.
I feel like we're living parallel lives, mate. Like doing
more importantly, how are you, mate? You good?
Yeah, mate. Yeah, it's all good, mate. Just rolling with the punches. You know,
that's all you can. That's all you can do, isn't it? You know, you guys are all surviving though, keeping busy.
Yeah, mate. I think if you can, find things to do, it's hard. You know more than anyone. Like you have good days and bad days, and that's okay. Yeah. That's the way it is, and you can't constantly be productive or whatever. And mate, that's life.
It is like that. Yeah, you do get a bit. People tend to get down. Sort of. You think you're trying to be as productive as everyone, and then you just. I mean, it wears on you after a bit. That's why I was just checking in, making sure that you're good, making sure.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it, mate. Thank you. Yeah. Like, I had a little chuckle, mate. Like, obviously, I'm a Melbourne boy, but there's obviously a Melbourne-Sydney rivalry. Always has been since the dawn of time.
What and I love to have a rivalry over.
I love the post you put up of the muscle dude. Like, you thought you had it, Sydney. We've got you. We're back.
Oh, mate. Like
so you've got to have a sense of humour in these times. It definitely helps.
You do, man. 100%. Like it's mate. You got to be able to have a laugh because it's a shit show. But look, it's a chance to do other things, chance to look.
Yeah.
So this just seems to be working well for you. This is good, keeping people.
Yeah, it's been like obviously I never thought it'd go this long, and it looks like it'll go for quite a while. But I think it's a good thing. It's from a selfish point of view, it's great for me because I enjoy tattooing and talking all the stuff. But I think also it's great for everyone else, hear other people's stories. You can tune in and watch it afterwards, and it'll be some sort of a bit of a a time capsule as well of what we were doing in these crazy times too.
Yeah, I mean, like that's it. I've been going back because it's hard. You get time, but you go back and watch through them. It gives you something to do, something interesting to look at. Sort of thing.
Yeah, I think one of my goals at the end of this is for this project. I want to probably try and make a book out of it. So I think that could be something pretty cool as well. Not much has been done, Australia book-wise for quite a while. So like get everyone involved that's done it. Just send you all a bunch of questions, what we covered, photos, all that stuff. It'd be like a nice yearbook, 2021 yearbook.
I mean, look, it'll be something to remember, when we're all if we all get through it.
Yeah, mate, we will. All right, buddy. Let's start off. So, where did you grow up? You're a Melbourne boy.
Yeah, southeastern suburbs, Frankston.
Yep.
So down that way, Frankston, Seaford. So born there, and I was actually born in the bush, but came down when I was pretty young, 2 or 3, 4, 5, somewhere there. So.
Yeah, nice. Yeah. Hey, mate, just tap your screen because you've just gone into darkness.
Oh, I've gone into... Yeah, sorry.
There we go.
Pretty dark down here. I have a bit of a den, so...
Nice. So, growing up down there, were you into... I know you're a surfer, but were you a skateboarder as well, that sort of stuff?
We skated just to be riff-raff, but surfing, yeah. Surfing, but yes, everyone in Frankston sort of skated just to cause shit. So, but no, mostly a surfer, man.
Yeah, cool.
It's down on the coast, like Frankston, not specifically, but anyone down the peninsula there is usually in the water. Yep. So, yeah, it's good.
Yeah, nice. So, all right, who did your first tattoo, and what was the fascination to even get a tattoo? Your first tattoo, from hanging out with the local rat bags?
Yeah, it came into light recently. I was talking the other day with Donnie and that, but hanging around Frankston, you had the tattoo shops and the older kids getting tattooed, and I didn't have any family that were getting tattooed. We just had old metal kids, old punk guys and stuff like that. You saw them, you thought they were badass, and So, you know, I started searching around tattoo shops when I was young, 10, 11, 12, sticking my head in, being annoying. And then, I got tattooed out at Devo shop in Mentone when I was 14. Yeah,
nice.
14, went out there and got a drag. I got it done by, didn't get done by Devo, I got it done by Macca that was working there at the time. So, he wasn't happy, he thought I was 18. But, yeah, so that was...
Mate. Yeah. It's pretty mad to think, like, you know, you've got kids as well. Could you, you know, you can imagine your 14-year-old coming home with a tattoo. Like, it's so wild to think of it now.
I've been talking about getting tattooed. When my parents found it, I've been talking about it. So I had an interest in it since I was like 10. So I've been going about it forever. So they weren't shocked at all. You know, they were just like, it was inevitable. But, yeah, I mean, you know, like, it worked out. It was fun. It was just a fun thing you did then, wasn't it? You know, get on the train, ride the train lines, and try and get.
Yeah, well, I grew up out in the northern suburbs, and you know, I used to go past like Shaky Bill's tattoo shop, the ones in Flinders Street. But all my mates were getting tattooed out at Body Language, so we'd do the same out in Lilydale. We'd do the same thing. Get the train over there Saturday morning. Everyone would be lined up out the front. You know, it was just like the smell of antiseptic or Dettol. Like mullets everywhere, mad flash on the wall, you know, akadaka blaring. It was, you know, it was a magical time.
Well, that was the thing. I used to actually go out to that WAG school, go to that tattoo shop at least once, twice a week, and that was it. You know, you walk there and you'd want to hear the buzz of the machine. There's no buzz, and you knew it wasn't open, and then you open the door and it was, you know, the smell of Brute and Dettol, and you're like, oh, you know, it's going to be a fun day. Like, do fun shit. So get up to no good, drink cans and smoke ciggies and just be a dickhead. So.
Mate, the glory days, So what other shops were around Frankston back then? It would have been what, Bodyline, Graham Isles?
Graham is out in Fairway Street with Bodyline, and then we had back then we had Black Dragon, which was Timmy, who's on Beach Street, and then Devo actually had a shop there, the Tattoo Attack there for a while as well. So he was sort of doing the Peninsula thing at that time. So, but that was about it, man. There was only those few. We had Ian Jeremiah. He had Hastings, and I think he's still out in Edithvale actually, like on the coast there. But yeah, that was it. You know, the 3 or 4, and that was what to choose from. You know.
No, mate, we've just had some serious questions come through and some speculation going on. Like, I think Jacob thinks that Evan's nude from the waist down, or we're both wearing shorts, mate. I got tracky pants on. Come on, what do you got on?
You want me to?
Mate, why not? It's a family-friendly show.
Yeah, no, it's just trackies, mate. But I am wearing the classic, the mockies and that. So it's home. It's fucking lockdown. Fuck off, Jake.
Mate, I tell you what, like tomorrow, one of the things on my list is to do a Kmart order, and I'm going to get like some trackies. They got some pretty good jumpers too, and some. You know, things, we're on a budget now. It's my birthday coming up, so I thought I'd treat myself.
The kids just asked me, they're like, what are you doing? I was like, why? I was like, well, you're all dressed. I'm like, what are you talking about? They're like, well, you're not wearing your robe. And I'm like, fucking mate, I got to do a work thing. So I'm going to put clothes on today. Like, settle in. So.
Mate. Amazing. All right, so what was your first tattoo? Oh, the dragon. What was your second one and that sort of
second one couple? I got tattooed by Devo. Macca left there. So I went back and got the classic tigers tearing out of the skin.
Thick. Where on your body?
That was on my shoulder. Since been lasered, that one. But it was a good lesson because it didn't turn out that well. It was sort of started by Devo but finished by the random blokes that hung out in the shop. So you know, as happened back then. So, but that was a good lesson because then I actually went and found Macca again. He was working at a good shop at Way Cool. Which started me off there. So that's when I.
How'd you get the start then?
In tattooing?
Yeah.
Well, I had I'd been sort of trying. I got tattooed at Way Cool for years, like since I was probably 15 or so, and hung out there and always watched. But then it was actually with Colgower Senior.
Oh wow, mad at Vic Market.
Yeah. I come across some stuff in a cash converters in Frankston.
Yep.
Had some gear and I was buying supplies, and he used to do supplies out in Pascoe.
Yep.
So I was buying supplies there, and he sort of offered me a spot in one of his shop. Well, I was making supplies for him only for about a week or so.
Yep.
And then he set me up at a studio that one of his guys just bought full bore in Noble Park. So
Yeah, that was Adam Brill's shop.
yeah, Adam had just left, and it was
Right.
Dave and that. So yeah, I started my apprenticeship pretty much as Adam left. I started in there. So
Yeah, mad. Yeah, I got tattooed in that shop a few times. It's
yeah,
I know.
Yeah.
Well, you walk in, the bays areas were on the right and the corner.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
all the classic. It was pretty much very similar to the Lilydale layout, Body Language.
yeah.
So,
Yeah,
but mate, they were like, great shops back in the day.
It's just a walk-in shop, man. Yeah, just a tiled
Yeah.
tattoo, big carpeted sort of area to sit down and smoke ciggies, look at Flash, and
Yep.
yeah, it was it was a good shop to start with. Dave Maxwell, he sort of kicked me off out there, and yeah, no,
And mate, I imagine people were smoking in the shop then too.
well, we actually, my job was to sweep up the ciggy butts under the, everyone just,
Ciggy butt man.
they sit with the ashtray on their chest and smoke them while they're getting their arms tattooed. You'd sort of have polished concrete floors, so you could just sort of butt your ciggies out on the floor, and yeah, it was good.
Mate, amazing. All right, so what were you, what were you doing? Just all the classic walk-in stuff, kanjis, names, bit old English, whatever.
Yeah, the late 90s, early 2000s, sort of run-of-the-mill tribal, man, was huge, and just anything, we didn't have a diary, whatever rolled in the door, finishing bloke stuff, so a classic sort of walk-in shop, just a bit of everything. I wanted to do custom stuff, but you had to sort of do what was there, So,
How long were you working there for before you moved on, and where was the next spot?
Well, we had Noble Park, and then we bought a shop in Rye, down where I live now, down on the peninsula.
Nice.
So we had the two running, and then Dave got out of tattooing, and I was sort of stuck. I thought, I'm not going to be able to get an apprenticeship again. I was only about a year or two in. So I bought the shop in Rye and thought, I'll just run that, And
Cool.
Sort of a holiday town, and that was a really good education in business. It failed miserably, so that's why.
Mate, how old were you then? Like early 20s?
I was 19.
Fucking hell! Wow.
Yeah.
Right.
So you're trying to sort of, I'm gonna tattoo my mates and do all this rad stuff, and I'm gonna party all night and tattoo all day, and this is do sleeves for $20, and didn't have the rent and didn't have fucking bills, and it went, but it lasted about a year or so, and then
nice.
It went out. So
yeah, crazy.
Like I said, it's lessons I learned that help me run a business now. So
100%. So it'd be pretty fair to say, like, you've not had any other job except for tattooing.
No, I came straight out of high school, straight into tattooing. I had
amazing.
I always wanted to be a tattooer since I was. I don't know why, 12, 13. I don't know why. It was just
amazing.
It just fascinated me. I just thought I just loved them. So.
Yeah, I remember probably around the same age. I think about 14. I remember thinking I don't want a normal job or a normal life, and tattooing was it. And I was going to the tattoo shop, watching my mates get tattooed and all that stuff, and just thinking, "Fuck, this is cool." And thankfully for both of us, it worked out.
Yeah, well, I mean, people sort of go, "Oh, it was an art," and all these things. "Oh, I wasn't any good at art. I'm not an artist. I'm not a painter." It was literally a job where I could smoke ciggies, I could drink beers. And some guy would give me $200 to draw a skull on him. I mean, it was to a 15-year-old. That was rad. That was the best thing ever. So I didn't get into it. I didn't get into it with the best artistic intentions. I got into it just because it just seemed like a cool way to get by.
Mate, and you know what as well? Like sometimes early in that era, you were maybe drugged. You were maybe judged on your drinking and cigarette smoking skills more than your tattoo ability.
If it was comfortable and the customer was happy and comfortable. I mean, you used to say give them a beer, give them a ciggy, do this. They're paying by the hour. String it out. Sort of.
Yeah, it's amazing customer service. Hey, can you just respond to this one? Jack.Poles has just wrote something in.
Evan gave me my first. Who's that? Oh, Zach. That's just a customer. I've just tattooed him. Zach. I need your photos, man. He needs to come in. I know they obviously get on this, but get your ass in there. That was those experiences went out with the 90s, I think. Now,
totally. Totally. And like you couldn't run a even moderately successful shop, with those work practices now.
Nah, fuck no. Jesus,
Yeah.
you'd be shut down in minutes. But you know, look,
Yeah.
you know, look, it was good shops and
Yeah.
just tattooing, man. It's a great job. It was meant to be fun. It still is fun. That's what I love.
Totally.
We try and make Grey Street fun. You know, it's meant to be a
Yeah.
fun job. It's you know, so a lot of people take it serious, which it is serious.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
you know, you could have a laugh.
Mate, like tattooing, like I say to, the guys and girls at work, like, and for me, even if like your life's falling apart outside the tattoo shop, that's your safety zone. You go in there, you laugh and joke, and for people as well, like it's not just us, customers' lives can be falling apart, but you give them a great experience, make them have a laugh, make them feel special, and just have a good time. And it's the best when you get customers that banter back with you and give it to you as much as you give it to them.
Yeah, the tattoo shop, everyone says it, it's like a psych ward, you know what I mean? Like they got problems, you got problems, everyone's in pain, everyone's this, and you fucking make a stupid joke and you enjoy yourself, man. It's meant to be enjoyable, you know.
Yeah.
That's why I've always loved it. So it was always just it was fun. It's just fun, man. I love it. I still love it. It's fun. You know?
I remember probably in my early 30s, I was tattooing a bunch of mid-50-year-old like businessmen. They're pretty cool dudes. The Harleys ride around America every year. And I remember one of them, Ron, particularly, I'd chat to him and I was going through a breakup at the time and he's giving me advice and everything. And then I'm like, so Ron, what's it like when you're in your 50s? Like you're still dancing with your wife and this sort of stuff. And he's like, yeah, like I'm just getting tattooed. I'm doing this. He goes, life just gets better as you get older and you don't worry so much about what you worried about when you were younger. But for me at that age, it was good to hear, ask someone other than your dad or whatever, what's it like when you're getting older, So, yeah. I probably wouldn't have had that if it wasn't for tattooing.
You get such a broad perspective. That's it. You get young guys really hard up and, and real proper problems, You can tattoo shop with guys. Yeah, and your problems seem piddly when you hear their proper problems, and vice versa. You get to meet people that are doing really well and they piss and moan about doing really well. And, it's you sort of get this big spectrum of customers now, which is great. You get to sort of look and go, fucking shit ain't that bad for me. Or it is that bad for me and I got to fucking change this, whatever.
Totally. All right, so back to Rye. What happened after Rye?
Rye failed, so I had to sell it. It didn't fail, but I had to sell it. That was because I was traveling. I got good advice from a mutual friend, Trevor. He told me to pack that shop up and quit that shit because I was there teaching myself. I was basically an apprentice just trying to figure shit out, and we didn't really have the internet or anything. So you were a dick swinging in the wind trying to work out how to do these fucking tattoos, and so some really good advice from him. He's like, travel, were you getting tattooed by Trevor then, or who else were you getting tattooed by? I just was loitering around. I used to always just go to the tattoo shops. I went to the Sydney convention and sort of pestered him for 3 days. Just fucking stuck by his booth and wouldn't leave, and stared at him until he fucking spoke to me, and so it was the way you had to do it back then. You had to sort of fucking persist.
Yeah, that was part of the filter system.
That was, you had to just cop the insults and cop the things, and then, sound advice. He said, get out there and travel. So I picked up sticks, and that's why I went and got tattooed by Guy. That's why I thought, right, I'm going. I had intentions to go live in America. I was going to go live and work, do that whole thing, and but packed up, sold everything I owned, and went and got tattooed and got an education. So
where was Guy then? Was he in Chicago or?
No, he'd moved down south to where he lives, Marion, Illinois. He was working out of a friend's shop out there, Unique Inc.
Okay.
So, Jack and Becky that are out there now. He was working the shop there. So he's sort of setting up his studio that he's got now and that. So I got a first-hand experience in different tattooing, very different tattooing, tattooing obviously that I was interested in, so it was,
but I imagine, I've never met Guy, but from, all the educational stuff he's put out over the years, undoubtedly he's 100% into it and sharing, so it must have been, hitting the jackpot for you going over there.
I mean, 1,000% to him, because he does, he loves educating, he loves talking, he has no secrets, He's free with all his information. I mean, for years after that, email him constantly and send my photos, and he'd give me feedback. He'd give me, I mean, still to this day it happens. When I go out there, I always try and go out and visit him and say hello to him and Michelle and that. And I mean, you know, it's advice on your career, on your tattoos, on everything. You know, he's a wealth of knowledge, and he loves sharing it. So it's just good to be around people like that. You know what I mean? Like, so it's, like I said, you know, you come back and just a whole new perspective on how to tattoo. And obviously, you know, I love that style. So I got a crash course. I had my whole arm done in 4 days, which was a fucking nightmare. But
I reckon it must have been like a massive sausage.
Oh mate, it was, you know, it was a giant fucking reference piece for me.
Yeah.
The next year.
But even like back then in Australia, probably people weren't doing 4-day sessions, or even full-day sessions weren't as popular as they are now.
Well, I remember saying I was out at Chapel Tattoo getting tattooed by Jacob, and they were sort of talking to me. They're like, going to America? I was like, yeah, I'm going to get tattooed by a guy. What are you going to get? It's like, the sleeve. And Andrew's like, what, like you're staying out there for a couple of months? And I was like, no, I'm going to do it like 3 or 4 days in a row or something. And they all just went, and I was like, yeah, it should be cool. Like, I love getting tattooed. Like, they're like, are you fucking mental? And I was like, nah, I think it'll be fine, you know. And the second or third day into it, I was like, this is a fucking bad idea, man.
Yeah. Where's the medicine cabinet?
Yeah, it wasn't being done, so I had no idea. I thought it'd be fine. Look, you get through it. You do what you got to do.
So all that, but the crazy thing is as well, like obviously you've stayed. Well, not the crazy thing. You've stayed such good friends with him over the years, and I think you've done collabs with Guy as well on people too.
Yeah.
So how mad's that from that, you know, 19-year-old kid or 20 years old to later on in your career, you've spanned such a broad spectrum of life, and you're now doing collabs with him. Like that young kid would have never thought that would have happened.
No, I mean, you know, it's amazing. But that's why tattooing in general is amazing. You know what I mean? You just got to put your foot forward, don't you? Really? I mean, it's not that sort of. It's not that hard, you know. I had people say to me, you know, I remember some people would sort of get jealous and, you must have done something like this or done something like that. And it's like, I wrote him a fucking email, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I put myself out there, and he reciprocates like that. He loves tattooing. He loves talking to tattooers, and you know, if you're on the same page, and you get to work with him, and you know, he's open for anything like that. So it's, you know, it's really not that hard if you put yourself out there and you know, you have genuine intentions. I think it's things like that sort of happen for. I mean, I've been lucky, super lucky for sure. But, I mean, I knew what I wanted, and I'd also say, but I know you well enough, Evan, as well. Like, you know, you're incredibly dedicated, and every person that has helped you along the way would have seen that in you quite early in the piece. You know, you are genuine, and you know. It's not a what I'm trying to say. It's like, you just put yourself out there and you do it and you give it a crack, and people do see, like you said, the best intentions. And then once you follow up with that, the door just gets opened wider and wider. It really is, man. Like the tattooing world's open to anyone that, like you said, I mean, even yourself in your studio and myself, I mean, we see it. You see guys that have genuine drive and intention, and there's no like, I better not talk to you. And like you feed off that, and then you do sometimes see people that don't really have genuine intentions. And you don't meld with them, you know, and that's why everybody sinks into where they're supposed to be in tattooing. You know what I mean? I think you can try all you want to sort of fit in here or there or whatever, but you will just settle where you're supposed to be. And you know, like I have genuine. I think I have. I don't know. I think I have genuine intention. I just want to be good at tattoo. I just like tattoos. Good tattoos. If I see someone doing good tattoos, I want to go hang out with them. I want to get tattooed by them. You know what I mean? I want to learn from them. I'm open to, you know, learning from everybody, taking their style and using it. I'm not shy about ripping people off. Not ripping people off.
But mate,
you know what I mean? Like,
for sure.
You know, if I go work with someone, it's like I'm using that. I'm using that. I try and give back whatever I can. I try and you know, I try and do good things, and maybe people can use them if they want. But it's all fed from a lot of good people that have been nice to me, been good to me. So it's
mate, amazing. So, all right, after you come back from the States, what's that young kid do then? Like, where's he go? What's he look for? Like, his eyes are wide open. He's got these new skills.
Yeah, I just wanted to tattoo, wanted to work a good show. I was lucky. I got to work at Way Cool, who I'd always been a tattoo. That was a huge sort of thing. You know, I got a job with those guys, sort of work and hang out there. But then, you know, as goes the way all the time, like, you know, a woman saunters into your life, and you you end up you end up packing up and just fucking blindly following. So my wife now, Sherry, she was living in Cairns, so yeah, she came down and you know, fell in love. So I chased her up there and got the job at Cairns City, you know, F&Q tattoo up there, which was awesome. You know, like working with Dwayne was another sort of, you know, it was unexpected, that trip, but amazing. I was supposed to stay a few months and ended up staying, I can't remember, probably a year or two maybe up there with him. So yeah, I mean, Dwayne's just a guru of tattooing, you know.
Oh man.
He just, I mean,
and another, you know, a legend, but got like a heart of gold. And you know, I'm sure that might have been, correct me if I'm wrong, that might have been where you see how to run a tattoo shop. Like, this 100%. Is it. It's, you know.
You know, it's not just about the tattoos you do. It's how you approach tattooing, how you approach the business. I mean, we unfortunately we all got to be in the business of tattooing. I'm not a fan of the business of tattooing, but it is what we do. So and I mean Dwayne, you know, introduced me to Brano. I got work with Brano. I mean, these guys were just the real heavy hitters for Australian tattooing. You know, again, you know, I just sort of put myself forward into those positions and tried to give back where I could, which, I mean, with Dwayne, I mean, I'm still great friends with Dwayne to this day. Like, I mean, I love it. Like, if I ever have a question, I mean, I'm on the phone and I'm like, what do you think about this? He'll just straight at you.
Oh, totally, mate. Totally. It's so good. So when you were at Dwayne's, like, were you doing more biomex stuff? Were you starting to do a style? Because I imagine it would have been pretty hard up there because it's, you know, mainly it's a hot climate, more of a tourist sort of trade.
Dwayne was freehand because everyone was transient. You know, no one wanted to sit around and wait for you to draw. And the best thing about Dwayne's shop, I mean, I probably learnt the most ever tattooing in Dwayne's shop because it was a walk-in shop, like fucking
non-stop.
You know, saying, fucking get it done, get it out. You know, if a guy came in and he wanted to drag in here to here, oh, can I go away and draw it for 2 weeks and fuff on it? It's like, fuck off, he's leaving tomorrow. So you're like, get a pen out. You're like, fuck, there we go. You know what I mean? Like, he supported you in it. He's like, you know, machines and technicality and needles, and we were building all that shit then. So it's, you know, you were just, your efficiency as a tattooer in that shop, just mine personally just went through the roof. You know, it was a lot of just freehand. We had a lot of Japanese. So I really started to take that's when I started to take a strong turn into the Japanese. I mean, we used to do back jobs in 2 days and shit up there with Eddie. And
wow.
It was wild, man. It was such a good time though. It was just a fun sort of freewheeling sort of tattoo on time, you know. It was, there wasn't so much seriousness on it, you know. I was serious, obviously, you know, doing good tattoos, but like, you know. But
around then, were you doing conventions as well? Were you still traveling overseas or interstate?
That's when you know, from the first trip overseas, I started like being, this is what you got to do. So at least a couple of times a year, two, you know, going to America, going to Europe. You know, I always think it's the biggest thing with this pandemic, man. I really think a lot of young tattooers are going to miss out because traveling is just huge. It's just, I mean, you've done it so much yourself, man. You know, every time you come back, you just got a suitcase full of and a head full of
you're just supercharged.
You're tingling with just anything you've seen. So I was doing conventions and whatever else, getting back whenever. Basically, you know, you'd work, save money, and then fuck off overseas. So,
mate. But you know, and again, like you're reinvesting in yourself. You're investing in tattooing. You're learning all the rest of it. But and I always found as well, like overseas, especially, people would maybe be more open with you than normal because you know you've made the effort to come and see them or visit them, and you know you're not a threat to them. You know, because I think for a long time now it's not so much, but even up until maybe 10 years ago, Australia still had a lot of keep the secrets sort of thing. So, you know, by traveling, you know, you weren't impacted by that sort of thing.
Well, and you did hear that, you know, you'd show up in a tattoo. I mean, I just used to show up in tattoo shops and be like, hey, they'd be like, where are you from? Like Australia. What the fuck? It's like, I flew out here, and they're like, why? And you're like, fucking look at this shit. What's that? What do you got?
Yeah.
And they were just like, cool. You know, you went from around the corner. You're from the other side of the fucking world.
Yep.
And they always knew, you know, Trevor, Geordie, the guys. So, you know, Australia has that. Australia really, I mean, you've traveled the world. Australia has a great worldwide tattoo connection, man. You know, because we do tend to stand out when we go. I don't know why.
I think just in general, it's not to do with tattooing. The most traveled people on the planet are Aussies and Germans. You know, and we're obviously cooler than the Germans.
Maybe you said that. I mean,
well, I've got a foot in both camp, mate. I've got 3/4 German heritage, so you know.
Yeah, I mean, look.
Hey, don't tell anyone.
Edit it out. I mean, look. When you travelled, it was I never came across any negative. I didn't come across anything other than open arms. So that's why you were so keen to go back. You know, you'd meet a guy and you'd drink in his shop and you watch him tattoo, and I'd go home and save up my money just to go back and get tattooed, to go hang out, just to go see him again. I still do that now. I still try and visit all the people when I go overseas. You know, I try and stick my head in and I try and you know, like try and give back whenever you can. Like I don't know, I don't have much. But, have a T-shirt or something. Like, you know.
But even just give back a good time is the one as well. But so I imagine just back to Dwayne's, like I know, like I worked at Skin Effects, so you know, very similar sort of setup. Dwayne and Brano are best mates. And you know, like the volume of tattooing you did in those sort of shops is probably 2 to 3 years compared to a normal 1 year in a normal shop. It 100%. Was just full on.
Yeah, 100%. The best advice any young tattooer, I'm like, go find a shop that is fucking smashing them out and just sit your ass down and fucking learn. Just shut up and tattoo. Like,
totally.
Within a year or so, you fucking, you know, you're out the back making strange needles to fucking get through it. You're just doing everything to put on, you know, and always quality, high quality, you know. With Dwayne and Brano and that, there was a standard you had to live up to. It wasn't 100%. Just smashing junk on people. It was, you had to fucking, not only did you tattoo fast and quick, but you had to tattoo to their level, which was a high level, you know. And you really, I mean, you had to sack up or fuck off, you know. And
totally.
And I think it's, for me, anyways, just personally, for me, it just helped me so much. It was just,
mate, for sure. Like street shops back then, a busy street shop, like you know, you'd get on point with your technical side, your needles, everything. And like I talk to some of the guys that I work with now, like, you know, the transition of them, like, you know, you're a custom artist, but you do amazing artwork. But for example, you might still be struggling with an outline. And I'm like, you know, if you're stressing out about an outline, once you get to the point where tattooing is easy and effortless, that's when the magic really starts, you know. And I spoke with, you know, one of the guys and try this needle, try this, like even like, let's do an experiment. You use your needle, your machine, try this needle and this machine and just try it. If it's working for you, do it. If not, go back to your comfort zone. And then once you can get to that, you're off and running. And
I mean, you know, one of the best things I heard was like from a good friend, like, and he said something that was so true, and it was later on, but he goes, it's 10 years. He goes, it's 10 years. 10 years to get yourself sorted. It's like, you know how to tattoo now after 6 months or whatever, but 10 years is when you've tried every needle, you've tried every machine, you've tried this, you've done all your trying, and now you have this is what fits me. And he goes, that's really when tattooing becomes fluid and you just start, because you just know everything. You know your machines, you know your stuff, you know your gear. And it was true, you know, when he said it, I was just like, fuck, it's true, you know. You don't get comfortable until that sort of, you've really been in there a while, and then, you know, but so working in those street shops, it brings that up quicker, obviously. You know.
Yeah, totally. And then when you translate into the custom stuff, you know, you're just so efficient. So yeah, with all that is, I think martial arts, it's 10,000 movements, surfing, probably 10,000 waves, you know, tattooing, you know, the 10 years, all that sort of stuff. I asked Pompey Paul up on the Gold Coast the other night what his favorite needle groups are for lining, and it was a 5-liner and a 14, an open 14. What about yourself? What are your, I know because you're so diverse, but have you got like a favorites?
Yeah, look, I use tons of shit, and one of my biggest problems is looking at something I've done 4 weeks ago and not knowing what the fuck I did it with, and so holding the needle up against it and going, oh, there.
Yeah, I do that. Yeah.
Look, the standard for me is, it's usually like a 5 and 9, and then 13, 25 mag, something like that. I mean, you give me that, it's fine. I can work in there with that. That's pretty standard. I might fuck around the fringes with it, but yeah, I don't like to go sort of smaller than a 5. Just my eyes aren't that good, and my machines aren't. They run a bit heavy. So and then anything bigger than a 25 Magnum, very rarely. Just for penetration on the skin. So but you're looking for speed and efficiency. So
yeah, cool. Awesome. All right. So after Dwayne's, what was the next step in the career?
I got offered the job with Trevor.
Amazing.
Always in touch with Trevor. Always coming back to Melbourne to see the family.
Yep.
I'd always drop in and see all the tattooers. Drop in and see him, and he'd started Richmond. He'd moved from Baronia to
That's
Richmond.
Right. Yep.
Yeah, he floated the offer of a job, and so I had to go back and tell the girlfriend at the time then, like, I've got an opportunity I can't pass up. So, in Cairns, I wanted to be a custom large scale tattooer, but the client was so transient. You know what I mean? If you really wanted to bunker into that custom side of things, obviously I had to and obviously probably one of the best opportunities you could get in Australia.
Yep.
He floated that, and I jumped on a plane and came home and started that chapter.
Amazing, mate. Amazing. And you worked for Trev for a long time too, didn't you?
Yeah, I can't figure out it had to be 8 years, something like that, I think.
Yeah. Nice. And that's when, like, I got tattooed in Baronia, and it was just I think a 2-station shop back then. So coming into Richmond, it was obviously you, Trev, I think Owen.
It was Owen and Sarah to start with. Owen had come over from Baronia, and then Sarah had come over from Magic, and she was working upstairs. So it was just the
5 of you, and that would have been, when tattooing was changing again in Melbourne. Like, you obviously had Magic, you had Vic Market, a few others like around, and when custom work, I imagine that shop was pretty much predominantly custom work.
Well, no, we were walking. That was when the boom started. So we were walking, and I was the grunt. I mean, I was a nobody. I was nothing. Owen was really talented, obviously. Trevor's Trevor. Sarah was obviously hugely talented.
Yep.
So I was just the shit. I was the shithead, sort of. So I did that was when the boom hit, because for years you'd been trying to push bigger tattoos and could never get them. I mean, you couldn't get a guy to get bigger than a half sleeve. And honestly, man, it was over the space of a year or two, these hardcore kids started coming in wanting to be fucking whole tattooed. And, and then Trev and that hooked up, and then you were thrown in the deep end kind of. It's like, I mean, who better to be with when you're getting put into large scale tattoos than Trevor?
Yeah, totally.
It was just great timing that when the boom of large scale tattooing hit, I happened to be working with one of the best at it. So it was,
mate, you're just bringing that boom, just to digress for a minute, like, it was pretty much the hardcore scene really took it to another level.
Yeah, the corner hotel and these kids would come in and they're like, I want a sleeve. I'm just like, what?
Yep.
Are you for real? And they're like, yep. And you're like, and then 3 of their mates and 4 of their mates. And what the fuck?
And probably as well, when like neck tattooing and hand tattooing started a lot more. Like, I remember I was up on the Goldie, and Mitch Love used to run our counter at Skin Effects, and so he was like one of the kings of hardcore and all that stuff, straight edge, and like, man, young kids coming in, first tattoo, fuck off, big sacred heart on the neck with brothers in it and all this stuff. It was like, wow. But it was like, like crazy, like new school trad style stuff.
Yeah, I mean, people wanted me to do it, and I didn't think I was any good at it. I wasn't, but it wasn't Trevor's sort of thing, and Owen was, pretty, Owen can do anything. So Sarah had her own clients, so I was like, yeah, all right, and and it was the the new school, the grimy, the Matt Shamar, the San Francisco, the Adam Barton, all that kind of, the glowing hands and keys, and but it was great. It was fun, man. It was a great style to sort of, you could dig it, and by then you had the internet. you know,
Yep.
which was such a game changer.
Yeah, MySpace.
MySpace.
Hey, what was your MySpace profile?
Fuck knows, man. I think Trevor set it up. You know what it was? Trev set it up so we could snoop around on people on MySpace and fucking, yeah. So my first MySpace and Facebook were his.
Amazing.
You know, like, I signed you up for this. So I'm like, oh, all right, you know. Yeah, but, you know, it was great. There was so much. That was when the abundance of reference came in, you know, like so much reference.
Oh, mate, I'm trying to find something, mate. I had a bunch of USB sticks I found the other day, and I think I took them to the shop to print stuff out. But that's how we used to trade, like, information was on a USB stick of files of stuff like, oh man, I got the Philip Dragons and stuff from Mick, and like, wow, you get on your computer and, you know, geek out and print it off. And yeah,
well,
it was a
studio here, and I've still got fucking hundreds of those plastic binders with printed off photocopied magazine articles. I mean, yeah, there's you know, there's Grimy and Aaron Kane. Fucking, I was flipping through them all up. They're still all sitting up on the shelf, you know. I'm just like, that's how you had to do it. You'd send packets of photos to people, and you know, and if someone came in, you'd sort of pull it out and go, hey, well, fucking look at that. You're like, whoa, where's that? Like, oh, that's, you know, that's the new fucking Chris O'Donnell stuff or whatever, you know. Like, oh shit, you know, like, so
it's kind of cool, man. I love it. I've got that stuff as well, and I flick through it at the shop and show some of the guys. They're like, I think sometimes look at me like I'm a weirdo. I go, no, but this is how you did it. You built your own little reference library of people's stuff. Yeah,
I mean, I've got books here printed off. I've got custom made Mick books, you know, from going and hanging out with him, and you get USB with all photos on it, and you just print it and just look at them and just, you know, it's great, you know. It's you know, it's something it's not missing now. We've got it. It's Instagram. It's
yeah.
It's, you know, but it was you know what it was like, man. It's like
totally.
Little treasure, little thing that, like I said, traveling again. You're like, oh, I got a little nugget, a little something. So and I mean, I look through my books constantly. It's still how I do it. So
epic. So with all of that, like, what was your sort of work regime when you're the early days of Dynamic? Like, you're doing your walk-ins, you're starting to get the custom stuff, you know, booking in a week later or a day later, because obviously you weren't blasting freehand sleeves out, or maybe you were.
No, Trevor was, you had to draw your shit up, have your shit dialed, and then you'd sit down with him and
go through it.
Get that back and redraw it, but it was constant. The workload was, you know, it was a real sack-up atmosphere as well, you know, and not in a harsh way. I mean, he would help you the entire way, you know what I mean? And Trev has a thing. I mean, you know, Trevor wants to work as hard as you or hard. I mean, we used to have nights where two of us would be in the shop. It'd be 11 o'clock and I'd be finishing a tattoo and he'd be done, and I'd go, you go home, I'll mop up. He'd be like, no, he'd start sweeping, and then I'd finish tattooing and I'd start mopping. It's like, you go, and he'd go, you go, and like fucking an hour later, our wives would be ringing. You're like, what are you fucking two idiots doing? I was like, I'll stay later. And he'd come in the morning, you know, he'd be like, I was up until 3 drawing last night. He'd be like, yeah, I was up till 4. He'd be like, fuck.
But mate, like you've both got a fucking incredible work ethic, you know.
Well, it's you just that was the thing. You said you wanted to do all this big stuff, and it's on the table, put in front of you, and there was never an attitude built into me to go no. So it got stupid though. It got crazy. It did get too much. I mean, it broke me. So it was you know, it was unhealthy because I mean, you have these things now, like a year or so worth of clients. I mean, that's just ridiculous, you know. And I know a lot of tattooers are going through it still, and it's great when it happens that you've got that much work and that much job security, but mentally for you, and just if you have family or anything, it's once it starts to get a year or two, you can't even buy a diary 2 years down the track. I remember. I think when we were in Taiwan talking to you at one night at a dinner or something, like I think you were booked up for 2 years at one point. Yeah, it was just like
just insane.
And you know, and that when trips overseas started changing, they went from being what tattoos you doing, what inks, to how are you doing your diary? How do you structure your emails? Like, you're just begging for help.
What booking system are you using? It's crazy, isn't it?
That guy was a huge help to me. Guy was like, what are you doing? And I'm like, I'm fucking trying to be good. And he's just like, for fuck's sake, man, you're going to kill yourself. And I'm like, I don't know what to do. And, you know, But it's all self-inflicted. You push and push and push, and you don't realise it builds up behind you, and then oh fuck, and you got to oh shit, and and it's unfortunate because sometimes I don't think you do your best work. Sometimes you do. For a long time, you will do your best work. You really, I think everyone has cracks. I mean, it's not good to admit it, but it happens to everyone. You have cracks, and you start going, fuck, I'm really not doing the best I could be doing right now because. It's just
but as well, when you've got that workload in front of you, it's so daunting. Like you're like, fuck, I can't even get sick.
Right, sick. That's the one that always got me. Getting sick was that was it. You're like, oh well, now I'm backed up for fucking 2 years. You know what I mean? Like it was just the anxiety that sort of builds up. You don't actually realise it happens. I had issues with it, and I didn't realise. I was a bit of a workhorse, and you wanted to be like Chris Trevino and Phillip, and But it did. It fucked with me just unknowingly, really. You just didn't. It was all happening behind the scenes. And
mate, totally. And the classic male thing is like, you just denied. Oh, I'll be right, whatever. Like, it's like I've been there myself, and it's you just, even if your partner's saying something, you're like, oh, whatever. You know best, and it's. I think you have to get yourself to that burnout period to really understand it, and then go, all right, I'm going to reevaluate a bit.
Yeah, but you have the love of tattooing.
Yes, obsession. Obsessed.
How could this thing that I love so much, that I enjoyed it, I did enjoy it. I enjoyed it so much. I wanted to be busier. Make me busier. Give me more fun stuff. How could this possibly be bad for me? Everyone has limits, so
Yeah, I watched one of the favourite Vice things I've watched on that Tattoo Age is the Chris Trevino one. Mate, I reckon I've watched it about 25 times. Right? I'm probably going to watch it tomorrow or tonight again. But such a machine. And it made me, the first time I watched it, not first time, I watched it in the first lockdown. And I was like, fuck, I want to write this guy a letter, which I haven't done, which I should do now that I've said it on TV. But just wanted to write him a letter and just go, man, such an inspiration. One day when the world opens up, I want to come over and can I come and just work for free in your shop just to see what's happening, just to absorb it? Because, mate, I just get so pumped on it all the time. He is so pumped.
Mate, so yeah, and that was the thing. You heard stories like that and you didn't even have Instagram, so you used to hear him. I remember being at a convention having breakfast and he's fucking drawing a back job at the table and he's got a sleeve on and he's up in his room and sorts of, and you're just like, and I love seeing young guys now in tattooing in that period where they can be that driven, it's exciting, man. It makes me excited still, I love it. But, I got different priorities now, I've got other things. So it's, I think, like I said, like everything tends to settle back to where it should, but I love seeing stuff like that. I love seeing guys really go after it. It's great. It's good to see,
Yeah, amazing stuff. Amazing stuff. Mate, it's gone quick. We're not even halfway. So we've got about 10 minutes left. Yeah. So we'll probably just, fluff around some stuff and we'll end up with our questions. So how long have you had Grey Street for now?
Grey Street is 5 years. It just went on 5 years. I didn't get a chance
congrats.
I turned July 40. I turned 40 and Grey Street's 5 years. So
nice.
Yeah, it's been, I love it, man. The crew, it's just, it's a great shop, man. I love the guys I'm working with. It's been awesome. So
it's a beautiful shop too. Beautiful 2-story, like
big old building that comes with old building problems, but still a big old lovely building. But I mean, it's we try and try and keep that vibe, man. I wanted to go back to a street shop after being private with Owen after Dynamic, and we got that, man. St Kilda's got that vibe. It's got that town. It's it's great, So I'm loving it, and the boys once we get back in there.
Yeah, cool. Who's the crew working with you now?
I got Jake. Jake's there. Dave Clayton, Jake Fraser, Christian Favreau, and we've got Rob Abels come over and work with us.
You got the band back together.
The band back together. Yeah, Robbie's not dynamic like Bobby, so it's good, man. And Bobby's worked with Jakey and stuff like that. Yeah. And we've got a young apprentice, Nadia, that's just started. So
cool.
She's she's fitting in well with the boys, and she's doing well. So it's a really tight crew, everyone's. I've worked with Jakey before, obviously, and Rob, and then Christian and Dave. you know, they came from Paulie's shop, Frankie Lee, and Paulie runs a pretty old school sort of setup. So everyone's on the same page, man.
Good.
All workers, you know what I mean? Like really. So it's we sort of pump along. And
how are you going with your apprentice? That like is she a collective apprentice or your apprentice?
No, she's mine. So
nice.
Yeah,
is this the first time you've apprenticed anyone?
Yeah, I mean, look, it's a long story. We could get into it another time, but I mean, look, it was just hard. It was hard trying to find people.
Yeah.
The younger tattooers that have done things the way I've done them, and it's very hard to work with people that are sort of a little bit, and not to judge anyone. Everyone's doing their own thing, but it was really tricky, and I was sort of getting angry about it, and then I really wasn't doing anything to help. I mean, old guys like me weren't teaching anyone. Why don't these people tattoo like we used to tattoo? Because no one fucking teaches them. So I struggled. I went back and forth for a couple of years, and I thought, you know what, you got to give back. So you know, I really sort of fished out the keen ones, and
cool.
She's really shown. She's keen, man. She loves tattoos. So awesome. You know, she's my responsibility. So she can't fail now. She just answer to me. So.
Mate, amazing, dude, amazing, So, and I imagine it's going to be a cool old school thing, but what an amazing opportunity for her to benefit not only from your experience, but all the other guys in the shop as well.
That's it, you know. That's all we want. It's not these old school hardcore things, but I mean, I can't work with someone that doesn't know how to machines work. You know what I mean? Like I can't work with someone that doesn't know how. It's just too. How do you do this? It's like, well, I fucking know how it works.
Well, I think with that, like tattooing now, the accessibility of it, and you could learn to tattoo off YouTube if you really wanted to.
Yeah,
but
that's good.
But they've taken a big shortcut out of a lot of fundamentals that are maybe they're not going to benefit you initially, but down the track, it's going to make so much more sense, and you're going to have a better understanding of it all.
It's exactly what you touched on before when you hit that 10-year mark. You don't have those 7 or 8 things in your back pocket when you hit that 10-year mark. You hit that 10-year mark with your thumb up your ass still going, well, you know, I don't know what's going on, you know? So
exactly. Like, you know, like how embarrassing would it be? Yeah, how embarrassing back in the day you're tattooing someone and your machine's not working, your foot switches, your clip cord's frayed or something, or someone you work with has sabotaged your favorite machine. You start going red. Yeah, you start going red and your ears are burning, and you think, in your mind, you think, fuck, the customer's looking at me like I'm a loser. I don't know what I'm doing. But then, you got to work it out and get rolling. When now, my pen doesn't work anymore. You know?
Exactly.
I'll just order another one.
There's guys with drawers and machines, like, they don't work. It's like, what's wrong with them? I don't know. They just don't work. I mean, look, and I'm not... It's great. You can now. You can learn to tattoo like this. You can buy machines that these rotaries are perfect, man. They run, and look at the tattoos that are going down. They're amazing tattoos and all this. It's just when it comes to the business of tattooing, and you're in a shop together, it's just really hard to work with people that are. It's quite a lot different, you know. And it's just, for me personally, it was just like, you know, and I really felt like I wasn't doing any favors. I do have this knowledge, and if someone wants it, it's there. If you want it, you know what I mean. Like, I'm open to sharing it. So and hopefully just make better tattooers, man. Great tattooers and good tattoos. And
amazing. Hey, Sam rules. I'm going to get Sam on at some point in the future. I'll message her after this.
But have to get Sam on, for sure.
Yeah, Sam will be good. So she said, I think maybe if you got a drawer full of machines, she'll buy them. I think that's the one, or she wants to buy the pen. Who knows? So, but all right. What we'll do, mate, we've got about 5 minutes, so I kind of do a top 10 thing. So, all right, what's your favourite surfboard?
Rusty.
Nice.
Oh, no, actually, I've got a Raging Bull at the moment, a really nice Raging Bull from I think it's JS. It's that one.
Can you getting out, because you're down the coast now, eh? You get out surfing?
Yeah, I surf constantly, man. Surf today, surf every day. I'm right at the beach right here, so I've moved right onto the beach. So
amazing.
All the water, so it's the only way to keep fit. So
All right, your favourite surf spot?
Right here, just Miami. I just walk it. It's just over there.
Mate, amazing, dude. All right, your favourite cafe?
Cafes. We don't have too many. Harlow's down from us in the shop at Inkerman. Harlow, lovely girls in there, man.
Cool. And favourite restaurant?
Fuck, man, I'm not a restaurateur. Oh,
Macca's?
German. German, mate. The Hofbrauer house. Fuck,
Oh,
I love
yeah,
German
yeah,
food.
cool, cool.
Yeah, yeah.
Are you coffee or tea man?
Tea, but I drink coffee for the hit now. So,
Mate, I've been having one early in the morning when I first wake up before I train. I'm like, bing.
I need it, mate. I need it now. I never did, but I do now. So,
Oh.
yeah.
All right, your favourite late night takeaway meal?
Fuck, anything Mexican.
Nice, nice. All right. Favorite tattoo machine?
Favorite tattoo machine? You know what? You can't go past. I know it sounds cliche, but Richard's machines. You know, the Philippines, man. I mean, you've probably got a pair. I mean, that guy just dials them in.
Mate, they've been too elusive for me. That's one
really?
thing I want to track down. I got the
Really?
tubes
Okay.
and the sticker.
Yeah, get onto is it Ching or whatever? I think he's got 1,000 of them over in
Oh,
Taiwan.
nice. All right,
Yeah.
sweet. All right. What's your favourite tattoo image to do, or one of the favourite images to tattoo?
Dragon.
Yeah. Nice. All right. Your favourite alcoholic drink?
Beer, always.
Nice.
The Bogan
Nice.
beer, man.
Your favourite vaccine?
Favorite bag. I just got a shot of Pfizer. So Pfizer. I'm in with the big company, man. You know, I think they've got.
Nice.
You know, they got the money to buy himself out any trouble.
Mate,
so
strong profit rise as well.
That's it. You know, fucking arm's still sore though, so I'm sus on it.
Mate, all right. Favourite thing to do in lockdown?
Surf.
Nice.
Hang out with the kids. Yeah. Hang out
All
with
right.
the kids.
Are you a paintbrush or iPad man?
The boys will laugh at this. I'm a shitty blunt pen or pencil on a napkin wherever I can find it. My sketches come in looking incredibly unprofessional.
No, that's loose. That's all the movement.
It'll be good. Don't worry about it. It's just some rice on it. It's fine. So yeah, that's me.
Mate, amazing.
Yeah.
So, mate, I don't have anyone booked in tomorrow night. Like, if you got nothing on, do you want to chat tomorrow night as well?
Man, if you want to carry on, yeah, I got nothing on.
Yeah, 100%. Because we've only just got up to the dynamic stuff, and then you've got Tama, then you got all the rest of the travel still. I know you got your back done by Mike Roper. You went to Europe and saw Mick and Philip and all that stuff. So we've only kind
Mark, I've been around a long time, mate. I'm old as shit.
Mate, I'm older than you.
You look younger.
Mate, it's this lighting.
Yeah, man. Look, if you want to catch up tomorrow, for sure, man. I've literally got nothing on. So
all right, amazing.
It's lockdown,
same time.
baby, this is it. We're doing nothing. So.
Yeah, mate. Is 8 o'clock okay again?
Yeah, that'd be fine.
Yeah. All right, awesome. All right, buddy. I really appreciate it, Evan. Thank you so much.
Good talking to you, man. I hope you're staying safe. Stay well, huh?
Yeah, we'll do. All right, I'll see you tomorrow night.
All right, buddy. Have a good one.
See you, bud. Thanks, everyone.